Jeff Jimerson with the singing of the national anthem. It's time now for our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, the Penguins have to have a better start than they did in Dallas. They have to be desperate here in this hockey game. Ryan Gibbons, he's that type of player. He's got elite speed in this game. And the Penguins are going to have to face one of the great goaltenders in the National Hockey League, Ryan Miller. And Marc-Andre Fleury, the Kia starting goaltender, is just the man to accomplish the mission. 28 wins on the season for Marc-Andre Fleury. And the Hyundai starting goaltender, Ryan Miller. Take a look at his numbers. He doesn't have the wings that Fleury does, but he's got the save percentage. And Ted Nolan, there's an ex-teammate of mine and a former coach. He's back here in Buffalo.
His record 10-14-6 so far with the Sabres this season, and Dan Bylsma. Of course, going to be looking at Ryan Miller and wondering if he'll be able to perform for him in the Olympics. And we're 6 more games to go before the Olympic break. A lot of questions for Dan and all the press conferences now about the Olympics, with reporters coming around to write their stories in advance. Now from the opening faceoff, Sidney Crosby with Tanner Glass and Chris Kunitz to start the hockey game. And the Sabres, Girgensson moves it to the left wing for Tyler Ennis. Zemgus Girgensson's on the ice along with Matt Molson and Ennis. Henrik Tallinder defensively for the Sabres right now, centering one, and it goes to the far side. Tyler Myers also with Tallinder, a couple of twin towers for the Buffalo Sabres, and here's Tallinder with it, pressured by Tanner Glass. He moves it to center. Tyler Ennis to the left wing and Matt Molson. He drops it off for Ennis. Ennis down the wing around Paul Martin, centers, and it's right there off the stick of Crosby, who quickly moves it out on the right wing to James Neal, who stepped on the ice. Neal out here with Malkin, just came off the bench, and Jussi Jokinen. The Penguins look to get that first goal, but Cody Hodgson takes off now for the Sabres to Christian Ehrhoff, and the defenseman who scored a shorthanded goal in the Sabres' 5-2 win over Columbus over the weekend shoots the puck up into the netting off a stick.
And Tanner Glass getting rewarded for a 13-hit performance in his last hockey game in Dallas. The Penguin team record since they've been keeping track of those. And look at the Super Bowl, the Allegheny Health Network showing the big hit from Tanner Glass in the opening shift.
Well, a player who works with glass, or I should say a man who works with glass, is known as a glazer. Maybe we should call Tanner Glass Glazer because he hits people into the glass. And by the way, another guy in this game tonight also once registered 13 hits, so that's the top figure in the league this year in a single game. And both players are in the game tonight. Zemgus Girgensson's and Tanner Glass. Girgensson's is a first-round pick of the Sabres, 14th overall in 2012 out of Latvia. There's a shot by Ehrhoff that's kicked out by Fleury to the near wall. And James Neal turns it out to center. Jussi Jokinen trying to get around Ehrhoff. And he's kind of pulled down, a stick was held. Fans were looking for a penalty there, but nothing called. The Sabres start out. Right up the middle of the ice goes Cody Hodgson, splitting the D, and they converged on him. Letang and Scuderi got over to prevent him from getting his shot away. It looked like he had clear sailing for a moment there. And now here's Malkin into the Buffalo zone, and offside is called.
Chris Letang has got that closing speed, that make-up speed. He can make up for a lot of decisions or mistakes or blunders. Look how wide the D are. And the Sabres are coming up the middle of the ice. And yes, it looks like the seas had parted, but they really did close up quickly as Letang was able to get in there and shut that down.
Cody Hodgson's hot too. He's got 4 goals, 8 points in his last 7 games. Coming back from injury to put up some pretty good numbers for the Buffalo Sabres. And Ted Nolan. Puck is dumped in. Fleury behind the net. Fleury is 8-2 in his last 10 starts against the Sabres. And on the attack now, Gibbons looking for Jason Megna. Good speed on this line. Megna, Gibbons, flanking Brandon Sutter. Olimata over to Matt Niskanen. Out on right wing now to Jason Megna. Trying to get it through to Sutter. He does, and he shoots it. A save made by Ryan Miller as he got his right pad down.
I don't mind those bad angle shots. I mean, that's what defeated Miller in the Olympics. He's the guy that's been able to, you know, he's pretty technically sound, but those bad angle shots on a guy like Miller, he's been confounded on those more than a few times by Sidney Crosby. You talked about speed, Megna, Gibbons, Sutter, and there's that pass off the pads, if you will, that the Penguins practice. Shooting it off that far pad so it comes right out in the slot.
Lots of talk about Ryan Miller. Will a team acquire him before the trading deadline on March 5th? Ryan Miller, Steve Ott, and Matt Moulson, all sought after future unrestricted free agents. Rental players, if you will, if they are traded. And now here's Engelland shooting down low, and the save made by Miller with a left pad. Eric Engelland back out here playing the right wing with Adams and Taylor Pyatt. And here's Letang's shot. That one sails wide. Picked up by Matt Ellis, and he lost control of it. But Tyler Myers takes over. Former Calder Trophy winner as the Rookie of the Year in the NHL. Sends it ahead to Matt Ellis, who dumps it in. He's the last defenseman to win that award. Now here's Letang just skating beautifully right now to center ice, and he dumps the puck into the Sabres zone. Man, when he's going like that, there are very few guys that look that smooth coming up the ice. Now it's taken by Brooks Orpik. Orpik across to Paul Martin. Orpik and Martin have been minus players since they returned to the lineup. We're going to get that turned around. Chris Kunitz dumps the puck in. Ryan Miller over to the corner. Good solid hit again by Tanner Glass down there in the corner. But the Sabres able to come to center. Christian Ehrhoff leads the charge. Another shot off the stick of Martin and up into the netting. By the way, Martin, a plus 82 in his career, is a -7 and a -4 since his return.
And Derek Allen getting a chance, as you mentioned, back in the lineup, playing the right wing. Tanner Glass with another hit in this hockey game. And it's been Tanner Glass the first two shifts with Crosby, although Ryan Gibbons skated with the Crosby unit this morning. Tanner Glass back-to-back shifts with Crosby and Kunitz.
It looks like he's got 150 hits now as he's added a couple more to his total. Here's Olli Maatta now into the Buffalo zone, drops it off. Kunitz fires, and the save by Ryan Miller. No traffic in front, no screen, and he was able to easily handle that shot by Chris Kunitz.
And Gibbons on the ice now, and it's interesting you said that. No traffic in front of Ryan Miller, and that was something the Penguins did not get against the Dallas Stars. There, Maatta joins the rush, and it's okay for Olli Maatta right there to drop it and then go to the net and provide a screen for Kunitz. He doesn't have to backtrack. Somebody's got to back up for Olli Maatta. He'll realize that he can continue, drop the puck, go to the net with that, and provide a screen for Kunitz.
I believe that Jamie McBain, number 4 of the Sabres, kind of stood in front of Olli Maatta, prevented him from really getting to the net if he wanted to. He didn't make a real strong effort to do so. But now here's Gibbons dropping it off to Matt Niskanen. Into the Buffalo zone goes Niskanen, leading the National Hockey League at plus 29. And the loose puck is gobbled up now by Ryan Miller, and we'll get a face-off in the Buffalo zone. On this week's Inside Penguins Hockey, Dan Potash travels to Alberta to trace Brandon Sutter's path to the NHL. Pens alumni take us inside another successful skate with a greats event and much more. Inside Penguins Hockey is presented by Heritage Valley Health System tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
Well, Steve Ott came off the ice. He had some words for the Penguin bench. As Neil came on the ice, he bumped into Ott, so he's already doing his thing. The winger, Steve Ott.
Puck is dumped in now by Philip Barone, number 84 of the Sabres. And first look at him. And the Penguins will start from their own zone. And here's Letang again. Sabres back up. Letang looks for an open man in the neutral zone. He did get it through, but it's considered offside. As Neil was skating backwards over the blue line, you have to have complete control of the puck for that not to be offside. And they deemed that he did not.
Well, there's Mark on. You talk about complete control. Did Fleury have control of this dump in? Take a look. Whoops. You just never know. Martin Brodeur, he wasn't happy with the ice in the outdoor game. Yesterday, was he, Staggy? He was complaining about that ice, and you never know. You get them in on these netminders.
I would say that the Rangers weren't doing much complaining.
No.
He scored more goals than any team has ever scored in an outdoor game. 7 of them. Back to the puck now as Scuderi sends it around behind the net. Malkin gave it away to Talinder, and his shot gloved down by Fleury. Scuderi able to just whack the rebound back to center ice. Now Tyler Myers takes over. Leads it on left wing. Marcus Foligno, who also scored a shorty on Saturday night against his brother Nick's team, the Columbus Blue Jackets, ending their 8-game winning streak with a 5-2 win. There's a collision between Brandon Sutter and one of the Sabres. Magnus shoots one off the glove of Miller. Keeps on coming. Brings it up high. Bobby, you got a good view of Megna's speed down there, and it's pretty impressive from up here, I'll tell you that.
He's got great speed. So does Tyler Ennis on the ice for Buffalo. He's the man that hits Sutter. Yeah, but Megna, he's feeling better now. His first couple of games after the knee injury, didn't really have that Megna speed. You can see it now, very evident.
Here's Matt Molson with it. Molson fed it down the wall for Ennis. To the corner it goes. It's going to be cleared up the wall by Glass, but he didn't get it out. Held in. Weber's shot, and that is gloved down. Ruedel letting it go from the right point, and Fleury able to glove it and hang on to it.
No score here in Pittsburgh. There's the hit. Ennis on Sutter.
Penguins select centerman Evgeny Malkin.
Malkin with a goal. He scores! It is certainly a great day for hockey. The 500th game for Evgeny Malkin. That all brought to you by Day Automotive. The Penguins start from their own zone. Kunitz with a long lead pass. Gibbons tried to move around Weber, who stepped up on him. And the Sabre is able to get it to center as McBain works it out to the neutral zone. Left wing to Steve Ott. Now centering pass comes off the wall and all the way back out to center ice, and Weber there to take it. Ole Mata will go back to play it in his own zone. Look out. Sabre coming right after him. That was Billy Leno, but the Penguins able to bring it out of their own zone. And a left wing pass to Gibbons. He tried to return the puck to Crosby. Now he steps in and centers, and it comes right through the slot to the near wall where Kunitz, all the way back in defensive position, works it down the wall for Gibbons. Back out to the center point for Niskanen. Into the corner now. Crosby will play it in front. Gibbons, and the pass at his right skate. He couldn't shoot it. Now Kunitz hustles again to keep the puck in. And the Penguins do take advantage of that as they dump it deeper, but they're going to make a change here. Crosby's going to go all the way back across the red line to the bench, as is Niskanen. So the Penguins changing up, and the Sabres giving them time to do that. Weber holds the puck behind the net. The Sabres also getting fresh players on. Here's Barone with it now to center. This little dish pass to the left wing. The shot taken by Flynn is gloved by Fleury. And no further play. Well, that auction continues. You can go to PittsburghPenguins.com, our charity auction, and make your bid on 4 tickets to the Ben's Blackhawks game and the NHL Stadium Series at Soldier Field on March 1st. Includes hotel accommodations, 2 rooms for 2 nights. That'll be a special one, and you can bid again at PittsburghPenguins.com. Over $950,000 has been raised, and we certainly do appreciate all the support. The bidding will end soon on Wednesday. Now Letang takes it deep in his own zone again. Letang trying to get it out. Letang is a -7 as well. He's a +35 in his career. These numbers are unusual for the defensemen we've talked about tonight. Scuderi, Martin, Orpik, Letang. There's a big hit by Taylor Pyatt, and he really hurt Tyler Myers, who went down hard. Adams with a backhand shot, stopped by Miller. Pyatt gets to the rebound. The former Sabre moves it out to Scuderi. Back for Pyatt, but it's taken away by Verone to Flynn, and he'll flick it back up into the Penguin zone.
Well, that's 6'8" and 225 pounds at least. Out of Houston, Texas. Myers went down real hard in that corner. Pyatt's a big man as well.
Malkin galloping to center, looks to the right wing for Jokic, had to reach back for the puck. Now it's sent up into the Penguin zone by Zenon Konopka. Scuderi up the left wing boards for Malkin. And he's able to slip around Linus Omark. Drop it off, Scuderi up the wing for Jokic. Now for Neal, he couldn't take that pass cleanly. And it's dumped in by Konopka, where Fleury will stop it for Chris Letang. Each team has 4 shots in the game. No score yet. Letang again through that trapping zone defense of the Buffalo Sabres. Tyler Ennis trying to get it out, and he does work at the center ice.
I like the backtracking, the back pressure from the Pittsburgh Penguins. You saw Neal there. You saw Kunitz the shift before. Good speed, and the Penguins have to use their speed to their advantage.
Christian Ehrhoff on the ice, number 10 for the Sabres. Over to Ruedel, and Chad Ruedel dumps it into the corner. Sutter behind the net for Paul Martin. Molson bumps in, but the puck is taken by Brooks Orpik, and up the wing now Megna's got to once again reach back for the puck, and Sutter snaps it along. Paul Martin able to get to it. Martin hit by two Sabres, finds Megna going to the net, and a save made by Ryan Miller. Megna gets his own rebound. Got to go in front, and a quick shot. And off the side, and taken by Megna again. He's centered. Paul Martin's got it now. Over to Brooks Orpik. Shot taken and the save made by Ryan Miller. Boy, Tanner Glass was there with loose pucks bouncing around in front of Ryan Miller, and the Penguins just couldn't find a way to get it behind him.
Good opportunities, though. Megna was able to cruise down the right side, and a 2-on-1 situation, a bad angle shot on Ryan Miller. Puck came back to the front of the net again, so good opportunities there. Megna had a little bit of trouble coming out on his off wing, trying to handle a puck. But when he got down his correct wing on the right side, you could see he just seemed a little more free and was able to get in quickly on Ryan Miller. Jacques Martin, a little coaching there for Jason Megna on the bench. You gotta love to see that. When he talks, you listen. And you see the respect Megna has, and the pats on the back as well. So I love that type of teaching. You sit there, you tell somebody, you're not yelling at them, anything like that. You're giving them information, you're talking to them, and after you do that, you give them a pat. And that is good stuff. Really good, and they're gonna have to fix the ice here. Something's on the ice.
Jason Megna is playing in his 20th NHL game. He's gone 6 without a goal.
Somebody may have got cut. Linesman using escape blades and get some of that, if it's blood, get some of that off the ice.
Well, we asked Ted Nolan today about Mario Lemieux, and he played with him. He had a funny story to tell, and we'll do that when we get an opportunity. We'll take a break right now.
A big, strong defenseman, and I'm not sure if it was the nose or not. That looked very dangerous, the point of that stick coming around and hitting his own teammate.
Ted Nolan sat down on a stall next to Mario Lemieux when he played here in Pittsburgh in '85-'86, and it was poster night. They were giving away big growth posters of Mario, and he said, "Could you sign one for me?" And Mario said, "To who?" He said, "To me." His teammate. And he said he still has it, Bob.
In the back of his door, his bedroom door. Oh, that's good stuff.
There's Olli Maatta with it now, over to Niskanen, who guns it wide and comes off the boards out to the blue line. And it jumps up over the glass.
Is that batted?
The seats.
I think it was batted over to Linder, and he's going to go. Every night I look at the box scores, and there's a delay of game for the puck going over the glass, and he's arguing right now. He's saying, "I'm just batting that puck." Well, you can't bat the puck. It doesn't matter.
2 minutes delay of game, shooting the puck out of play.
Look at it. 2 feet off the ice. Whack.
Just a bad bounce.
That's just, yeah. It has nothing to do with intent. Doesn't matter if you bat it or shoot it. You're gone.
And the Penguins are on a UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Evgeny Malkin feeds it to Neal. Neal fires and a save by Miller. And he's able to freeze the puck and hang on to it. Neal has gone a season-high 5 games without a goal.
And Kunitz right in front of the net as Neal's going to shoot that puck from the high slot area. That's exactly the formula you need. Traffic in front of Ryan Miller. Miller's down, plays the butterfly, has the paddle down quite a bit.
Sabres are 12th in penalty killing. Crosby moves it across the ice. Letang shoots it, and it's blocked. Malkin able to get the puck back over to Letang. Kunitz is in front of the net. Letang to Malkin. Crosby's wide open. One-timer and a save by Miller. And why was there a whistle there?
The referee lost sight of the puck.
It popped way up into the air. And
it did. I don't know if it went into the netting, but the referee lost sight of the puck, so he blew it down. And the Penguins have attempted 3 shots from 3 different areas on the ice. One to the right of Miller by Letang. This one to the left of Miller by Sidney Crosby. It got lost in the atmosphere.
Minute 26 on the penalty. Penguins win the face-off on the man advantage, and now here's Neal shooting, and another save by Miller. He's been square to all the shots, and he's not allowed any rebounds, similar to what Kari Lehtinen was doing the other night for the Dallas Stars, not only traffic in front of Miller.
Take a look at the face-off. Crosby cheating with his feet so he can win it on his forehand. Then he brings all the penalty killers up to the blue line. That opens up that area between the forwards and the defense for James Neal. And shot first mentality for Pittsburgh here. 4 shot attempts on this power play.
Zenon Konopka was able to stay in there in the circle, and Genny Malkin will step in to take the draw now. And against Konopka, he wins it, and it's out to Neal. Neal to Gino. Malkin with it, steps out, shoots it. Oh, Miller made a good save. Kunis with a rebound over for Crosby. But Sidney Crosby could not take the pass cleanly. Good stick work by Christian Ehrhoff. Still, the Penguins are able to recover the puck. As Neal moves it out to Letang. Back over to Sidney Crosby, into the slot for Neal. To Sid. Crosby holds it. Closes in. Dished it off. Penguins keep it. Malkin, Crosby, centers. Broken up again. Ehrhoff, excellent stick work. Cleared it, but didn't get it out. Letang bounces it back to the net wide. McBain slaps it. Malkin with a great stick to keep it in. Malkin closes in. Works it down low for Crosby. Couldn't take the pass cleanly. It comes around near shot. Konopka. He's able to backhand it back into the corner. And the Sabres finally clear it. And Ehrhoff got enough on it that time to get it all the way down the ice.
The Sabres are down to 4 defensemen. You get Tallinder in the box. Weber's not available, I don't believe, right now.
Letang poked away by Marcus Foligno, but Malkin will get to it. Foligno bumped him. He'll go back to the puck with 6 seconds remaining on the penalty to Tallinder. One more rush for the Penguins with a man advantage. Jokinen lost the puck though. And Foligno playing with some confidence in this penalty-killing effort. Tallinder's on the ice. Now you got 3 defensemen out there, but Tallinder goes to the bench. Ruedel around from Myers, and he shoots it down the ice. I don't know if he was aware that the penalty had long expired, but it's an icing call.
He wasn't, and that's just the awareness that the youngster still hasn't found.
Let's take a look at our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update. And Penguins are missing a couple of good wingers there. All 4 right wingers. Dupuis, Bennett, Connor. All valuable players.
Very valuable.
Sutter turns and shoots. It's blocked in front.
I don't like that play by Myers. And leading to all this in-zone time for the Penguins. Just a, you have to be aware. Your goaltender's banging his stick. You got to know when the penalty is expired. It's just awareness.
Jokinen shoots it. Miller's been sharp here early. The Penguins now have 10 shots. We'll make that 11. Miller has stopped all of them. No second chance opportunities, really. Although Tanner Glass certainly appeared to have something. So there's a shot by Sutter. And Jokinen with a swing and a miss on the airborne rebound. And Myers back to the puck. Gibbons reaching around him, and Myers sent it up the near wall. And Marcus Foligno. Over to Tyler Myers. He's got it to the Penguin line where Brooks Orpik finds Taylor Pyatt at center ice. Pyatt looks for Adams. Into the Buffalo zone. Adams shoots it wide to the glove of Miller. Tanner Glass to the puck. Back to the point to Scuderi. Looks for Glass. Ennis couldn't take it away. Glass shoots it. Save made short side by Miller. Penalty coming up. Fleury's headed to the bench. And another power play chance coming up for Pittsburgh.
It's going to be a high stick here. There's been some good in-zone time, and I think Tanner Glass may be going to the box. They were looking at Ennis to see if he was cut, and it's going to be Tanner Glass for the Penguins going to the box. He didn't even know he was penalized. So he went in there. He's confused as anybody.
Well, Fleury left the net in favor of an extra attacker, so he definitely thought it was going against Pittsburgh.
The Penguins had the puck. That's what Dan Bowser said. What's going on here? We control the puck, and you had your hand up. I don't know if it was when Tanner Glass shot the puck. I know he had a shot on Miller. Was it his follow-through, or was it when he was going to hit somebody in the corner? It was against Ennis. That could have been it right there, the quick lift of the stick. But the shot was allowed and play continued, so I'm as confused as the Penguins are.
Tom Cowell and Kelly Sutherland are the referees. Leno tried to work it behind the net. Paul Martin picked it off, knocked off his stick, but right to Brooks Orpik, and he's able to find that lane up the middle to get the puck all the way back. Buffalo Sabres have gone over their last 18 through 8 games here in Pittsburgh on the power play. Their power play is ranked 29th in the NHL. And an icing call against them with the man advantage.
Yeah, Brooks Orpik back to that dot to get that icing. Out of Amherst, New York, Brooks Orpik. Well, Brooks, he's looking to get into that plus department as well. You talked about the plus minus with some of the guys coming back, and it hasn't gone Brooks' way since he came back from injury. He'd like to get it going.
Ott wins the face-off. Leno worked it behind the net where McBain will lug it back now. And Jamie McBain needs some speed as he enters the Penguin zone and off his stick and cleared by Olimata the other way. The Sabres' second unit is on right now, and I'm quite certain they would like to get Matt Moulson on the ice here with a man advantage.
Love the angles of the Penguins forwards. They swing, they get speed from the outside, and then they dive inside at the puck carrier.
And a centering pass for McBain. He slaps the puck, got nothing on it. It was blocked by Adams. He broke his stick. Now he backs up with no stick as Kunis comes ahead. Kunis shoots it, and it was blocked by McBain and picked up now by Billy Leno. Now for Tyler Ennis. Now the Sabres get Tyler Myers, Matt Moulson, Tyler Ennis on the ice, as well as Cody Hodgson. And
went into the Penguins bench and came out. That curved glass.
Okay, thank you, Bob. We get a broken stick being taken off the ice.
Yeah, McBain, he's a little one-on-one, but look at the back pressure by the Supremo right there, and Kunis fans on that.
I was wondering how that never got through. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. In the original can. There's Tyler Myers with it now. 31 seconds to go on the penalty to Tanner Glass. Sabres going to make it happen with a man advantage. Hodgson sent it all the way up to Christian Ehrhoff and back to Cody Hodgson. Cody Hodgson with it, works it down low to Moulson. Matt Moulson very dangerous around that net. This pass from Myers doesn't connect. The linesman kicked the puck right to Sidney Crosby, and now we got a 2-on-2, make that a 3-on-2. The Penguins hurry. Martin, the center, the pass is out of his reach. And a give and go. And the Sabres dodge a bullet there as the linesman helped the Penguins get a 3-on-2. Now the puck is dumped to the corner. The penalty's over. Brooks looking back to get it. Ennis hits in. Matt Moulson follows on. The Penguins go the other way, and it's a Denny Malkin carrying to center ice. Into the Buffalo zone, trying to get around Ehrhoff. He drops it off. Jokinen behind the net for Malkin. Malkin steps out, shoots up the side of the net.
Oh, man, he had Miller down. Look at that footwork by Malkin. Backwards from behind the net out.
Now the Sabres counter. Flynn dumps it in. And Flynn hit by Letang. He sets it up for Verone. Verone backhands it wide. Malkin feeds it up the near wall. Weber back on the ice, pinches and shoots it at the save made by Fleury. And this is James Neal carrying the puck back to center for Pittsburgh. Lost the puck, and Verone just swung it back out to neutral ice. Niskanen ahead to Neal. Now left wing for Jokinen. Jokinen cross ice for Letang. And Letang feeds it down low to Neal. Neal out for Malkin, back to Neal. Penguins passing beautifully. Niskanen shot though, blocked by Flynn. And he turns and banks it off the boards back into the Penguins' end of the rink. 13 shots for the Penguins, 5 for the Sabres.
Well, it was a good chance by Malkin coming out from behind the net there, skating backwards. Steg. He looked like he was setting up for a triple Salchow or something, and released that puck high to the blocker side of Miller.
Icing really against the Penguins. Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob King and Jay Caulfield. Jason Megna, liquid hot Megna. We'll visit with Dan Potash. Face off to the left of the Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, Niskanen, he wants to switch sides with Kunis. So Kunis will be on the wall. Crosby's going to try to go back with his puck.
Ott won it against Sid. Kalinder risks the puck, blocked by Gibbons, and he goes down to blocking that. That hurt him, and he's upset right now as he goes to the bench.
No, he doesn't have much facial emotion at all. Remember when he scored his first goal? No real reaction. Same here. He took this shot and came right off the ice, but you can't tell. He might have a broken foot or it might be fine. You just don't know with him. Did we win? Did we lose? Did you score 3? What happened?
Here's Megna busting into the Buffalo zone. Megna swings wide, shoots the puck, and a blocker save made. Hyatt gloves it down. Did a saver though, so it won't be a hand pass as Megna works the puck in the corner now. Megna hit hard by Kalinder. Pyatt follows on, pulls his way right through Ruhwedel. And behind the net for Megna on his backhand. Megna up top now to Scuderi, who wrists it back behind the goal. Pyatt is there. Ruhwedel checking in with that stick between his legs. Crosby, the reverse hit on it. Ott tries to spin out of that check, goes down. Ott staying right on him right now. But Ott goes down. Taylor Pyatt trying to kick it to his stick. And finally the Sabres able to just get rid of it and get it back into the Penguin zone.
Mott out here with Scuderi.
Sabres have given up a lot of shots, 35 or more, 9 of the last 16 games. And they've allowed 15 already here in the period. Here's Engelland now to the corner for Brandon Sutter. Sutter for Engelland. Derek Engelland hunts the puck down and reverses it for Sutter. Up top now for Brooks Orpik, who just punches it down into the corner for Taylor Pyatt. Tyler Ennis will eventually get possession here. Here comes Tyler Ennis. Stick handling nicely as he comes into the Penguin zone. Leaves it there for Molson, who dumps it deep. Orpik gives Ennis a ride into the end boards. He's able to fight that check off and work it in the corner for Jurgensen. Jurgensen's trying to get it to the point. Ehrhoff wristing it. That's blocked. And it's controlled now by Sutter. It goes rink wide for Paul Martin. On to Brooks Orpik. The Sabres are changing ahead of the play as Orpik takes the ice that's available and dumps it up into the right wing corner. Malkin gets in after. Another kind of reverse hit there on Myers. But the Sabres able to get the puck.
1 minute.
An offside call on Buffalo as they enter the Penguin zone. 56 seconds remaining in the period and no score.
Well, Tanner, no score here in this one. You got a call with a high stick there. Did you see anything? And hey, you're playing on the big line here tonight too.
Yeah, a couple of shifts at the big line. It's nice. I don't know. I didn't even feel that high stick. I must have got him, but I didn't know it.
We're looking at a Buffalo team here. Some teams, you guys have struggled with some teams that are out of playoff positions. How do you get yourself up for games like this?
Well, for us, we're trying to build our game no matter who we're playing here. We're trying to be consistent in our effort and our execution every night, no matter who the opponent is.
All right, go get one.
Thanks, Bobby.
Tanner Glass leading the club in hitting, over 150 hits at the moment.
There's Letang's favorite new play, Staggy. A little flip into the open ice. If there's no icing like that, your forwards can get in on it.
It's the Letang dump we're going to start calling it. Now here's Tallinder with it. He'll try to dump it to the corner, but the Penguins break that up, and it is Neal with it. Well, as Doc Emmerich would say, he ladles it into the attacking zone. Now here's Malkin with it. Over to Scuderi. Somebody tweeted yesterday when Doc Emmerich used that term ladling, he said, "You must be thinking of warm soup." On that freezing day in New York. There's an icing call against the Penguins.
Only 5 shots for the Sabres in this first period, 15. As you mentioned, a couple of power plays for Pittsburgh, one for Buffalo in this first period of play.
But they're hanging around. They're getting the goaltending from Ryan Miller. This is what he does. This is what he's done all year for the Sabres. Just holding the fort for the team that has scored less than 100 goals in the National Hockey League. The only team under 100. 91 total goals is all they've scored. Penguins have scored 164. Here's Jurgensen's with it now. He'll dump it to the corner as time expires. So the Penguins, a good period of hockey, but unable to beat Ryan Miller, Bob.
No, Ryan Miller's been really good. I mean, he's been good all season long, .926 save percentage. He just hasn't got that run support that you talked about.
Let's go to Robin Jay for our first intermission report.
Doug, Bob, thanks very much. And Jay, it really did seem like Ryan Miller was one of the big differences in that first period.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo's just kind of sitting back. You watch a couple times, even on a line change and Pittsburgh's coming out, they just are all sitting in the neutral zone. They don't want to take any chances to give odd man rushes to Pittsburgh. And outside that, Pittsburgh, good power play opportunities, and Ryan Miller's been the difference to keep it a 0-0 game right now.
No score after 20 minutes of play. Coming up on the first intermission report presented by your neighborhood Ford store, Jay will tell us straight. Dan Potash catches up with Jayson Megna next when we return. Penguins playing a speedy brand of hockey tonight, aided by the return of Jayson Megna back in the lineup for a few days. For more on him and the second period, let's rejoin Steige and Bob upstairs. Guys?
Thank you, Rob. What were your impressions of Megna in that period, Bob?
The same way they were prior to his injury. Speed, confidence, carrying that puck, getting to Ryan Miller. He had a couple of shots on net. His centerman, Sutter, had 3 shots on net. They were very good in that period, and Megna better every game and every shift. Only 4 shifts in the first, but he was very visible.
Tonight's face-off presented by the new face of Northwood Realty Services.
And you see that Gibbons will start the face-off here in the second period of play. He was struck by a puck in the laces in the first period. He came off the ice gingerly. But he starts with Crosby and Kunitz, unlike the first two shifts where Tanner Glass was playing with Crosby and Kunitz in the first period.
And the Penguins control the opening draw here in the second period. And the Sabres steal. Molson sets it up. And the return pass for Molson from Girgensons does not connect. He probably should have shot that puck. And now here's Crosby with it. To the right wing. Gibbons back for Sid. Looks off the stick of Talinder. Sid turned it in front. And the rebound off the stick of Miller went right between the legs of Gibbons. And now the Penguins on the attack. Back into their own zone with the Sabres on the attack. Martin moves it along. Sid up the right wing. And here's Sid into the Sabres zone. Trying to get around Ehrhoff. Cuts in behind the net. Back out the short side. And a backhand shot by Gibbons is stopped by Ryan Miller. That's a clever play by Sid. Now they split the D. And on net, the save made by Fleury and a rebound chance. Fleury stops that too as Steve Ott got the second opportunity. And the first shot was taken by Ville Leino.
Sidney Crosby making that short side play to Gibbons. As he goes around the net, he throws it out the short side. Gibbons gets a good backhand chance on Miller, but the puck goes the other way. And you see Ville Leino, who has not scored this year, he gets one chance and then on a second crack. Boy, that was a tough start really for the Penguins. They did get the one shot, but they gave up two good opportunities.
Here's Malkin against Ehrhoff. Malkin, the Jokinen a shot. Glove down by Miller. And over to the near side, taken by Ville Leino. Now for Ruhwedel, stolen away though by Jokinen, and he tried to move it in front to Neal. Now Ott with it. Hodgson carries in. Leino stops up. Goes to the trailer and McBain for Ehrhoff, and around in behind the net now for Hodgson. He walks out, backhand shot, and Fleury down, makes the save on him. And yes, there have been some good opportunities at both ends of the rink here to start the second period. Weber with a drive. That one was hammered wide of the goal, held in by McBain, who risked it back down behind the net. Hodgson brings it up the wall, tried to turn off the boards with it. Malkin wouldn't let him do that. Now he whacks it back along the wall, but the Sabres get it again. Letang riding a man into the boards. His man is Ville Leino, who's been out here for an extended shift. He needs to get off as the Penguins go the other way. It's Neal leaving it for Malkin. Malkin finds Mata to Neal. The shot, and again a sharp angle shot goes wide and off the boards. Picked up in flight by Flynn. And Flynn for Marcus Foligno. Trying to get it back to the front of the net. McBain unable to get that puck as Ole Mata has it now for Pittsburgh. Mata banks it off the boards. The Sabres, though, are able to take advantage of the turnover and dump it right back into the Penguins' zone. Fleury stopping it with Niskanen. Now for Ole Mata. Up the wall now for Tanner Glass. Chips it off the boards and back into the Buffalo zone.
For the Sabres, they feel like they're in this hockey game, which they are. They withstood what the Penguins gave them. 15 shots in the first period of play, and they're coming on a little bit stronger here in the second.
Niskanen. Pass doesn't get out. He'll try again now. Well, his pocket was picked by Verone. Now sent behind the net. Linus Ullmark out here along with Flynn and Verone. And now Ullmark with it. Tried to center. It's off a skate. Sutter up the wall. Tanner Glass finds Jason Megna. He drops it off for Niskanen and back to Megna at center. Trying to get into the Buffalo zone. He stood up. Good defending there by the Sabres. And Talinder takes it the other way. Talinder dumps it behind the net. And Ellis trying to get in on the forecheck. Back to the point. Ruhwedel shot was deadened in front, and now a shot by Konopka. And I'm not sure if that was on the net as he was ridden out of the play behind the goal.
It was, Staggy. It was a great save by the Fleury's right pad there. Konopka, a real good opportunity.
And from your vantage point, you can see it down there. And good eye, Bob, as Fleury got his right pad down. And now here's Matt Niskanen with it behind the net.
Boy, that puck management that they always talk about, Pittsburgh. They've given the puck away a couple times in their own zone. Credit to Sabres with good pressure.
Hyatt dumps it behind the net. Miller cleared it up the wall, held in though. Adams sending around near side. Orpik pinches down. Runs into Ruhwedel. Tyler Ennis trying to get control of it. And here he comes. Ennis just chips it out to neutral ice. Brooks Orpik hauls it in. On the left wing now for Pyatt. He steered into the Buffalo zone. Ehrhoff around and up the wall. The Sabres come out. It is Ennis with it. To Molson, a drive up high. Fleury makes the save. Ennis got to the rebound. Pushed it to the corner. Taken there by Molson. Back for Ennis. Ennis. Girgensons creating traffic in front. Can't get it to the front of the net. Now he feeds it for Girgensons. Good cycling here. Girgensson turns out of the check of Pyatt behind the net. Ennis in front of Molson. The shot off the stick of Paul Martin and trickled wide of the goal. Loose in front again. Clear to the near side where it's taken by Pyatt. He's able to get it out to Sidney Crosby. He looks ahead for Derek Engelland. He's going to be gloved down by defenseman Mike Weber. Weber, who played for the Beaver Badgers. Learned to play hockey at the old Rankin Beaver, the Dome. Brady's Run Arena, still there. Here's Kunitz. Down the wing, Kunitz shoots it just wide of the goal on the stick side of Miller. Comes off the corner boards. Now Ott just backhands it across the rink. Bain can't get a hit there ahead of Letang. Look out, here comes Ott on Gibbons. And Crosby takes the pass. Centers it, bouncing puck comes near wall. Taken there by Kunitz. Back for Sid behind the net. Crosby to Kunitz, a shot. That hit Hodgson. Gibbons in front to Sid, backhand try. Miller diving out, poked it away. Crosby has it again. Closes in, shoots and oh! Gibbons put it off the net and then the rebound shot into the goal by Kunitz as it went off the post right to Kunitz's stick.
I'll give Kunitz 26 on the season. That ties a career high, but Marc-Andre Fleury stopped Konopka right there with his pad and stick. He made other saves on Molson, and then Miller with the paddle down with one save. They failed to clear the puck. And there's the goal post. The light went on there. Kunitz kept playing. I don't know if anybody stopped. But McBain with a big turnover leads to the opening goal in this hockey game. And boy, there's been umpteen chances by both clubs in the second period.
And there are the Sabres. Flynn with it now, shoots it. Fleury the save, and the rebound backhanded to the goal by Verone, but Fleury able to handle that, and he holds on to it. So Kunitz has 26 goals on the year. He's a plus 26, second in the league in that category behind Matt Niskanen. Gibbons hit the post, but that puck went right to his stick.
Well, the Penguins get the first one on the board. Chances both ways. Well, there's Captain Steve Ott in discussion with the two referees. Take a look at the goal. I mean, there, the light goes on, and the play. Does anybody stop? I don't think so. But, well, you know, somebody's in charge of putting that light there. I got a little trigger happy there. Kunitz finished it off. He made sure that that man was correct. Or woman.
That light used to be triggered by a man standing behind the net in a booth. The old goal judges, but they don't do that anymore.
Where is the guy now, Staggy? Do you have any idea who's in charge of that?
He's up here in the press box, Bob. Someday we might have to get a shot of that button pusher. Now here's Neal shooting, and a save made by Miller, and he's able to freeze the puck again. Neal still looking for that next goal. As I said, he's gone a season high 5 games without one, but he hasn't been without chances. He's been shooting the puck a lot.
Keep shooting it. He's got himself available stationary and on the fly. Allegheny Health Network, there's the Super Mo. And that man's been good, Ryan Miller, but I don't know if good is good enough. His team needs more opportunities. They have had a few Penguin turnovers in this second period, and Fleury's been up to the task.
Ehrhoff able to maintain possession of the puck and move it out to center. It'll be dumped in on the near wall by Matt Ellis. Fleury stopped it for Letang, up the wall for Megna. Megna against Ehrhoff. Is taken away by Linus Omark, who sent it around near side over to get it to Drewedel. He's hit heavily again by Tanner Glass. And Glass is just putting a charge into people when he hits them. There's Ehrhoff again with Megna trying to take it away from him, but Ehrhoff did his best to maintain.
Penalty here on Megna. Got to stick up on the Buffalo defender who's checking his face right now. Ehrhoff. It's just going to be a 2. There's no blood, and Megna on the forecheck is going to go to the box.
Pittsburgh penalty number 59. It's a minor penalty, 2 minutes for high sticking.
It looked like that stick just rode up. Jayson Megna's stick just rode up. But boy, Tanner Glass with a big hit on the wall as well for the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's the high stick. Ruedel really got hammered by Tanner Glass. You could just feel it. Solid body check.
Bone-crunching checks by Tanner Glass. Now taken by Ennis, who backhands one off the back of the cage. Picked up by Paul Martin, and he dispatches the puck the length of the ice. Sabres are 0 for 1 with a man advantage. They did not register a shot on their first power play opportunity. They trail 1-0. Chris Kunitz scoring the goal. Now Hodgson is able to punch it up into the right wing corner. Orpik taps it to the near wall. Up the boards it comes, where Adams will bang it off the boards to center. Tyler Myers to Molson.
I love that chip support. Penguins get the puck out of their zone, killing the penalty. Really good stuff there. Started with Brooks Orpik.
Hodgson to Ehrhoff. He's got a bomb. Shoots the puck at a save made by Fleury. The rebound. Orpik hustles over to get it. Coolly able to control the puck up the wall, but didn't get it out. Ehrhoff holds it in for Myers. Tyler Myers risks one off the stick of Paul Martin to the far side. Hodgson able to take the puck and feed it back into the corner. Martin beats Molson to the puck, sends it around, but it's going to be taken by Tyler Myers. He risks it back down deep behind the net. Molson let it go for Hodgson. 52 seconds to go on the penalty. Hodgson centers. Myers pushed it towards the net. Got nothing on it. Poked away by Fleury to the near side and then cleared by Brooks Orpik all the way down.
Well, they're going to live or die with this Myers here on defense, Staggy. He struggled a lot. Good save there by Muller on a shorthanded chance by Glass. But Myers I'm just trying to watch the guy. I know he's a big guy, a big body. I think they're forcing him into his positions right now, but they have that luxury. They're not going to make the playoffs. They traded off and not signed some of their free agents over the summer. And they're going to make this guy a player, hopefully.
Steve Ott with the puck now. Controls it on the half wall with 11 seconds remaining on this penalty. The Penguins take it away from Ott. Good work by Glass and Letang to team up and steal the puck away and shoot it all the way down the ice, and that'll kill it.
Yeah, and that's important with the change. The bench is on the far side in the second period here, killing that penalty. You got to get it all the way down. Race to the bench.
Kaderi tried to clear it, bouncing puck. Centered, but picked off by Crosby, and away he goes. Sidney Crosby digging in and flying into the Buffalo zone. Cuts into the middle. Fires the puck up high and wide off the glass. To the near side, Letang back behind the net for Crosby. In front now, Malkin. And poked away by Ryan Miller. Malkin gets it back. Malkin for Letang. Letang goes to the corner for Jokinen to Malkin. Back across for Ole Mata up in the air. Jokinen will hustle back and get to the puck. Sends it back around for Evgeny Malkin. Malkin with it again. Jokinen came flying in from a defensive position, as he often does, but Malkin couldn't get him the puck. Ole Mata back to the corner for Crosby. Out now to Niskanen. One-timer up high. I like the way Miller is just kind of getting his body out to the puck as it's approaching him tonight. Really making sure that he plays an aggressive brand of goal against the Penguins tonight. Here's Matt Niskanen with it. Niskanen turns the corner with Matt Ellis on him. He's able to find Jokinen on the left wing. He'll dump it to the right wing corner. Malkin gets in after it. Malkin for Sidney Crosby. Now Jokinen hustles in. All three Penguin forwards below the goal line right now. And here's Malkin with it. Malkin controls it. Falls down. Very careful here. As Malkin continues to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Crosby takes it. Looks for Jokinen. Those guys have been out there for a long shift. And finally, the Penguins will get control on the blue line and enable the forwards to change. Taylor Pyatt on the ice now as Ole Mata goes back to the puck. Fleury sends it around for James Neal. Neal over to Ole Mata. Sutter on the ice as well. Along with Neal. Centering pass, Molson had to go right under his skates. Hopped right over the puck, and Sutter takes it into the Buffalo zone. Sutter driving to the net. Centers for Pyatt. He couldn't get his stick down. Molson trying to get it out to center, and he does for Girgensons. Bangs it off the boards, but right to Brooks Orpik. Orpik turns with it in his own zone. Time ticking away quickly here in the second period. The Penguins leading 1-0. 8:35 to go in the second. An icing call against Pittsburgh. Let's go down to Dan Potash.
All right, Stag, the Penguins have 36 victories this season. 26 of them have come courtesy of scoring the first goal. That's right, they're an NHL best, 26-2-1 when scoring the first goal. On the flip side, a much different story for the Sabres, who are at the bottom with a 4-7-5 record when scoring the first goal, though they did have that nice victory over Columbus the other night, and that's right, they scored the first goal in that game.
Off the draw, taken by Paul Martin. Around now for Taylor Pyatt. Pyatt able to get the puck out to center. Bouncing puck down by Billy Leno. Back to Tyler Myers. James Neal goes to the bench. Tyler Myers carries the puck with confidence now. Here he comes, trying to get around Paul Martin. Good sweep check. He maintains possession and throws it up for Billy Leno. Not a good pass. He'll have to retreat to neutral ice. Now it's Carlinder with it. He'll play for the Swedish club in the Olympics. Tanner Glass steals, centers, Engelland shoots, and he scores!
Well, it all started with Tyler Myers. He made a bad play, a bad pass in his own zone to a forward who was covering up. And then the Sabres got pushed back, and they mishandled the puck. The Penguins got pressure. Derek Engelland, the finisher, takes that pass from Tanner Glass, and he just hesitates a second, waits for Miller to go down. The puck goes up off the bar. That was a goal scorer's goal. I don't care what you say. Derek Engelland. Magical stuff.
First goal in 11 games for Engo, or Ego as they call it in the locker room. And, again, I was mentioning about Ryan Miller and the aggressive goaltending. Well, that time, as you said, Bob, he made the first move, but to his detriment, as Engelland hung on to the puck and scored the goal. Now here's Engelland with the puck in his own zone. Ahead for Tanner Glass. Couldn't control it cleanly. The Sabres have it. And the lead pass beyond the stick of Linus Omark. The Tang sends it ahead to Engelland. He runs right over Mike Weber. Just knocked him right down, and then he steps into the bench. Now it's taken by Matt Niskanen. And a lead pass to Brian Gibbons. Gibbons. Mata. Oh, he was getting ready to shoot it and lost control of the puck. A good pass by Gibbons.
Now Gibbons backing up Mata, who's in the corner, and then they switch. Good stuff there by those two.
Gibbons resisted the temptation to give the puck to Sid and found the man who was really in great position, Olli Mata. He was unable to control the puck. There's a good hit by Marcus Foligno and Matt Niskanen. Out of the corner, Gibbons there. And trying to keep it away from Flynn, but Marcus Foligno turns out of the check of Niskanen. Foligno for Flynn. And Flynn tried to go to the point to Carlinder. Poked away from him by Gibbons. Crosby trying to catch up with the puck, but Tyler Myers backhands it right back into the Penguin zone. Matt Niskanen slows the play down, leads it ahead now for Neal, who steers it to the right wing for Crosby. Tried to go back to Neal. Kunitz will take the loose puck for Crosby off his skate. And Girgensons has control now. Crosby will head to the bench. As the Penguins steal it at center ice, it's Jokinen ahead for Neal. Neal with a shot and a save made by Ryan Miller. A little toe drag move there by Neal. He almost scored.
Great stuff. The Penguins, Crosby got off the ice. The bench door it would have been an offside play, and the man jumping on waited for that puck to go over the blue line before he jumped on Malkin so that it wouldn't be an offside.
Ferguson centers for Molson, and the pass for Ennis goes by him. Weber steps up, centers it off the stick of Fleury. Now Ennis takes it, gives it right to Evgeny Malkin, and up the wall now for James Neal. Neal back to Gino. Make that Paul Martin over to Orpik. Malkin goes up to center ice as Orpik looks for him at center. He's got it now, and Malkin looks left wing now for Neal. Return pass for Malkin went back to center, and Orpik tried to dump it in. And Malkin ends up with it one more time. Malkin stick handling beautifully into the attacking zone. Looks for Tanner Glass, but the pass chipped away by Rui to the center. On the wing comes Cody Hodgson. Centers it off a stick. Taken there by Tanner Glass, who gave it away to Rui to make that odd. He shoots it now to the corner for Hodgson. Megna takes control of it. Scuderi moves it into the middle. Megna dumping into the corner. Carlinder back to get it. Backhands it up the near wall. Tyler Myers will carry it back for Buffalo. Go! Centered one right through the paint. Taken by Megna. Can't get it around Carlinder. Ott with it now. Sabres are changing, so he's got nowhere to pass it to. Rob Scuderi takes it for Pittsburgh. Headmans the puck at center to Tanner Glass. Bounces it in behind the Sabre goal. Weber back to get it. Weber was also a South Point rink rat, Bobby. Here's Ole Mata moving it out to center. Goes all the way down to the Sabre zone, and Ryan Miller will set it up behind the goal.
He's had some bad luck this year, minus 25 coming into this hockey game, and he took a stick from his own teammate right in the beak in the first period of play.
His father, Rich, is a Audi mechanic at Sewickley Auto Store. And his grandfather also was an auto mechanic. Back to get the puck now is Ole Mata.
You're actually looking as he comes off the ice, that cut is in the eyebrow, the left eyebrow of Weber, right above his eye. He does not wear a visor. He was very fortunate.
Penguins control the puck now. It is Brooks Orpik charging down the left wing wall. Gets some help from Taylor Pyatt. Pyatt trying to get to the front of the net. Hit by Ehrhoff. Marcus Foligno's got it now for Buffalo.
Myers joining the rush again. He is all offense right now.
Barone over the line, but he stick-handled a little too much there, and as a result, offside on the Buffalo Sabres. 3:14 to go in the second. Engelland from Adams and Glass at 12:05. The fourth line chipping in to make it 2-0.
Hey Dan, it's 2-0 for your club right now, but it was 0-0 and you had 15 shots in the first. How do you approach a start to a second after that?
I liked it that way. I think we've either gone out to a big lead, or we've been playing from behind and play a 0-0 game, play a tight game, stay patient with our game. We had 15 shots and some chances, but we had to stay with it, and we did there in the second and finally got one at the 8-minute mark.
And you got one from your big forward, too.
I think it was a good pass by Gibby. It was a great scoring chance, great play by Sid for Gibby at the side of the net there, and he passed it off the post to the baby girl from Chris Kunitz goal. So he got a goal for his daughter today.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Here you go. Congratulations.
Fleury freezes the puck.
And his wife and his baby girl, we just learned today. It's good stuff. So it was all meant to be, Steggy. Gibbons, he didn't want the empty net. He wanted to pass it to his buddy Kunitz. Crosby and Kunitz, boy, Chris Kunitz has been so exceptionally quick on the back check in these last couple of hockey games. Is one thing I've really noticed from him. That's tough to do when you're in front of the net all the time. You got to play a 200-foot game if you're the left winger. You have to play the left wing lock or the left wing lane, they call it. Those wingers, they have a lot more responsibility this year in the new system.
Tanner Glass moves it ahead now to Brandon Sutter down the wing. On his backhand. Sutter looks back, now turns and shoots it, and it sails right over the glove of Miller, past Megna to the corner. And now Weber with it, fires it hard off the glass to center ice. Ennis can't navigate around the linesman, and the Penguins end up with control. A long lead pass up the left wing to Tanner Glass, who steers it into the Buffalo zone. 2:12 to go in the second period, and the Penguins leading by a score of 2-0. Hodgson takes it away from Malkin. Brody Hodgson feeds it into the middle. Scuderi trying to keep it in front of him. Bouncing puck. And the Sabres able to keep it in the offensive zone, but now the Penguins force it back to center, and it's Megna to Malkin. Malkin trying to go around everybody, and the Sabres take it away and move it back to the Penguin line where Scuderi has it. Over to his partner, Chris Letang. Over to Malkin. Now to Jokinen. Down the right wing comes Jokinen. Shoots it down low, and Miller absorbs it and hangs onto it. We'll return to Pittsburgh. A rare home game between 4 road games for the Penguins, and they lead at 2-0. Now there's a new triumvirate of leaders now in Buffalo with Pat LaFontaine heading up hockey operations. He hired Tim Murray as the general manager. Former Penguin GM Craig Patrick is now senior advisor. And these guys are trying to rebuild a team after losing some pretty good hockey players. Jason Pominville traded for a couple of picks. You see the goals that all those guys have scored for their new teams. And the Sabres, as we said, the lowest scoring team in the league. They could have used those guys in their lineup this year. They're actually right in the middle of the pack defensively. So if they had some more offense, I can imagine they probably would have been more competitive than they have. Here's Sidney Crosby down the right wing now for Gibbons. Gibbons drops it off to Sid. Sid swings around the defense and finds Gibbons. Gibbons throws it to the front of the net. Kunitz trying to turn and shoot it. Now Gibbons banks it to the wall for Kunitz. Back to Gibbons. Lott checked him and took it away. Leleno leaves it there for Ruedel. And Ruedel dumps it in with a minute remaining in the period. It's Letang turning and firing it out on left wing for Kunitz. Turned it over to Tallinder. Hot down the left wing. Letang took it away from him.
Wow, a lot of turnovers here.
Yep. Giveaway city right now, and here's Verone with it. Verone shoots it down low, and the stick save made by Fleury. The 10th or 11th shot of the period for the Sabres. Here comes Jokinen. Malkin. Malkin turns, looks back, and that won't connect. Niskanen dumps it back in with 17 seconds to go in the period. Tyler Myers with it. Ole Mata trying to get it north. Jokinen hands it to Neal. And now to Gino. Maybe one more rush here if Jokinen can get on track for Neal. Neal trying to get around Tallinder. 1 second to go in the period. And the horn ends the second period with the Penguins leading 2-0.
Malkin was trying to stir up something on that last shift. Boy, he is just a magician with that wand out there and the puck. And Derek Engelland made it 2-0 for the Penguins. Another goal scorer's goal.
Let's go to Robin Jay for our second intermission report.
Steige and Bob, thanks very much. Jay, you know, not the dominance in shots here in the second period, but the dominance where you want it on the scoreboard up 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you know, kind of good plays, like a quiet 11 shots that Buffalo had. It's almost Pittsburgh's doing a good job all over the ice. They had a couple opportunities, but when you get the goals going away, Kunitz, Gibbons, and Crosby, we talked about them. The more shifts they get together, the more, you know, they just get used to where each other's at. They played a good period. And then Derek Engelland obviously getting a 2-goal lead, a big goal.
Yep. Derek Engelland gets his 4th. Chris Kunitz is 26. Dan Potash will catch up with Chris Kunitz, and Jay will tell us straight when we return on the second intermission report presented by Mercedes-Benz. Second period, a couple of goals put the Penguins up 2-0. Here's what you missed, presented by your Western PA Honda dealers.
6 more games to go before the Olympic break. About tonight, Scuderi, Martin, Orpik, Letang. There's a big hit by Taylor Pyatt. No second chance opportunities, really. Although Cannon Glass certainly appeared to have something. Well, there's a shot by Sutter. He drops it off. Jokinen behind the net for Malkin. Malkin steps out, shoots on the side of the net. Crosby has it again. Closes in, shoots, and Gibbons put it off the net, and then the rebound. Tanner Glass steals, centers, Engelland shoots, and he scores! Derek Engelland back on the 4th line tonight, chipping in. Secondary scoring always comes in handy, and Ego's done a pretty good job when he's had the opportunities to put the puck in the net.
Yeah, he really has, Steggy. He scored 4 goals this season, 3 as a forward, driving the net there, taking a Vitale feed to beat Nabokov against Columbus in the high slot. What a shot that was, Brett Hullike. That one from the blue line. And then tonight, are you kidding me? Look at the patience as he rips it up over one of the top netminders, Miller.
And somebody's tweeted the booth, and does Engelland's versatility better secure a position on the starting roster with the young D-men trying to crack roster spots?
Well, it gets him a spot tonight, doesn't it? It gives him the opportunity to play. And the Penguins came off a 3-0 lackluster performance against Dallas. So you put a guy like Engelland in there, and, you know, if somebody's got to drop the gloves, he can certainly do that. And we can see that he can put the puck in the net as well. Seems to have a little bit of touch around the net.
Face off at center to start the 3rd period between Ennis and Crosby. Back to Martin, ahead now for Gibbons, but is poked away by Tallinder to Molson, who dumps it into the Penguin zone. Ferguson's getting in after it against Brooks Orpik. Now Molson follows on. Matt Molson works it out to Tyler Myers, and the bouncing puck bounces right over his stick. Crosby trying to take it away from him. Crosby after the puck to the corner. Myers rubs him out. Following on, though, is Gibbons and Kunitz. Kunitz chips it off the boards to himself. Sends it up top now to Paul Martin, and his wrist shot up high. Rebound, Crosby. Hooked away by Ryan Miller. Taken now by Gibbons. Out now to Paul Martin for Kunitz. To Brooks Orpik. Back behind the net. Crosby trying to get after it. Up the wall it comes. Olsen pried it free, but right to Kunitz to Crosby. Right back for Kunitz. Here he comes. Kunitz sent it to Gibbons. Back for Kunitz, and the pass went behind him. And Myers bangs it off the boards out to center ice.
Great plays, chemistry, Kunitz and Crosby. Pretty evident right there again.
And once again trying to maintain the heat in the offensive zone, but Sabres able to clear it.
Yeah, that's a good point you make, because you know the Sabres are talking about coming out quick. Get a quick start to the third period of play. Penguins trying to take it away.
The second period started with a flurry of chances at either end. Ott moves it up the wall now to Ehrhoff, who dumps it back in behind the goal. Letang cleared it up the boards. Sutter, nice play to feed it along now for Tanner Glass and ahead to Megna. Pass went behind him. He couldn't touch it. It would have been offside. The Penguins retreat here as the Sabres come to center. Ott steers it in. Fleury stops it. Shuffles it along for Letang. Now to Megna. Here with Jokinen and Malkin. Megna heads off. I assume that Neal will be jumping on, and he does. As the puck is dumped into the Penguin zone, back to get it is Matt Niskanen. Now Letang comes back to help out. Neal up the wall now for Malkin, but it was out of his reach. And McBain moves it out to center, where Flynn drops it right back to McBain. McBain with 3 goals this year. The guy he was traded for, Sekera at Carolina, has 8 and 30 points. McBain has 10. We're talking about offensive players that were let go by the Buffalo Sabres.
Yep. And McBain's the one who turned it over on the Engelland goal.
That's right. Oh, there's a great chance. Save made by Fleury, and the rebound poked wide by Flynn, who was robbed the first time and almost scored on a second chance.
Well, he stuck with it. Flynn, he was able to shuffle it underneath Marc-Andre Fleury, who was twisting and turning like a worm, but he was able to keep the puck out.
Konopka moves it left side to Omar. Back to the net. Wide of the goal. Matt Ellis trying to corral it. Sends it back into the corner to Konopka. Sabres with energy. Matt Ellis shoots it wide of the goal. Ellis with a good chance. Now Myers with it. He feeds it back into the corner. Linus Omar. Checked by Engelland. Maintains possession. Good play. Out for Tallinder. And Tallinder cross ice. Myers can't get to it. He's going to have to retreat. Just little plays like that that can kind of short circuit your offense. And you take those kind of passes for granted, the way the Penguins move the puck along the blue line, and maintain the possession in the offensive zone with plays at the line. Now Adams dumps it off the boards and it skips up into the Sabres bench.
Well, the swashbuckling Flynn with a couple opportunities, one there, and as Fleury just wiggles his way around that blue paint. Look at him, twisting and turning, and somehow the puck goes underneath him. If it hits him, it probably goes in. Incredible stuff, and Marc-Andre Fleury holds on to his stick there, Staggy. Had he thrown his stick there and made a save, who knows what would have been called. Penalty shot.
And the thing about Fleury is he drops his stick, and Dominic Hasek did that for years for the Buffalo Sabres, and that's not considered a penalty when you drop it and propel it somewhere. Here's Orpik with it behind the net. Sends it up the boards now for Gibbons. Crosby tried to go rink wide with it. And a little one-touch pass for Paul Martin doesn't connect. Stepping up is Brooks Orpik on Jorgensen's, and back to get it is, oh no, look, right in front. Molson robbed by Fleury. Gibbons went over to play the puck, and they pushed it right by him. Hennis setting up Molson on the doorstep, and Fleury with a great save. 2 unbelievable chances for the Sabres here in the third already. And they're still down 2-0 because of Fleury.
And Tom Cowell decided not to call a penalty. Brooks Orpik stood up in the neutral zone. He took something right in the mouth.
Another centering pass, this time by Leno. The Penguins break that up and push it back up into the Sabres zone.
And that's how the Sabres got their opportunities after Orpik stepped up in the neutral zone.
Couldn't believe the way they were able to get that puck to Molson. I thought Gibbons was going to go over and prevent that pass. And all of a sudden, there was Molson all alone, right in front of Fleury.
Yeah, he's probably the last guy you want all alone in front of the net. He's got the great hands. Coach Bilesman alluded to that in his press conference this morning.
Billy Leno dangling with the puck right now, turns in behind the net, continues to control it. Leno brings it up high now, and it's poked back down the boards to no avail as Tallinder gave it right to Jason Megna, and he's able to dump it up into the Buffalo zone. Tanner Glass held away from the puck. A little interference there by Tyler Myers, and Glass barked at the referee, but the Sabres come the other way with it. Centering pass for Myers doesn't connect, but it comes through now to Foligno. A slap shot. That went off the mask or the shoulder of Fleury up into the netting.
Oh, they're really coming. The Sabres are really coming. He's touching the mask right now. The skull on top of the helmet. There's Orpik, stands up. Ennis with the speed and the turnover. And Molson denied by the right pad. And one more look on the Supermo presented by Allegheny Health Network. It does show that Fleury took it off the mask, and, well, Brooks Orpik took it in the nose.
You saw Gibbons. He tried to whack the puck on the wall, and Ennis took it away and sent it to Molson going to the net.
So they have the nose plugs in there trying to stop the bleeding out of the right nostril of Brooks Orpik. That's always fun.
Jokinen moves it along now for Malkin. Trying to get on track to center ice. Back now to Niskanen, who dumps it into the Buffalo zone. Jokinen gets in there first. Leaves it there for Neal. Neal watched by Veroneo goes down. Neal stays on his skates to Malkin now. Malkin tried to get it back to Jokinen. And the Sabres come to center, and it's Myers with it into the Penguin zone. Looks for the right wing. Flynn stops on a dime, moves it in deep. Verone couldn't reach it. Takes a hit near side from Niskanen. Malkin takes off with the puck at center. Look for Neal. The Sabres took it away. And the Penguins, in this line in particular, Malkin's frustrated right now. He's trying to make those plays to Neal and Jokinen. It's just not happening for him as the Sabres are picking off his passes.
Yeah, he slammed his stick on the boards as he came and made a change. Mark on it, Fleury.
Another save on Omark, and the puck is cleared by Adams up to center ice.
I tell you, the Sabres are working. Ted Nolan's got them working. He can't put the puck in the net for them. But they're getting opportunities. They're coming with speed and desire here, and the Penguins are just holding them off. Oh boy, Brooks Orpik ran right over Konopka.
And Ehrhoff takes the puck behind his own net, sends it up the wall now for Taylor Pyatt. Konopka with it, trying to get it out. Pyatt held it in momentarily. Sabres just dump it to neutral ice. Paul Martin with it. Martin checked by Ehrhoff. Puck cleared up the wall by Jurgensen, and Martin moves it along now to Brooks Orpik. Lead pass out of the reach of Gibbons. And this is McBain carrying to center now for the Sabres to Jurgensen, and he'll taken away by Martin to Gibbons. Gibbons works it along now to Chris Kunitz. Kunitz drives it into the Sabres zone around off the glass. Crosby trying to get in on top of it. Gibbons comes slashing in there to get to it. Weber fed it around the right wing wall. Kunitz jostling Jurgensen's. But the Sabres still have the puck, and it's Molson dropping it back to Weber. Over to McBain. The Sabres aren't going to go away. As the Penguins get the next goal, then maybe that will take the wind out of their sails. But for now, they are still trying to get on the board here and make this a hockey game.
And part of that equation is they've been jumping up 57. Tyler Myers, you can't miss him. He's 6'8". He joins every rush. He's as active as any D I've seen this year.
And Ott carries the puck now to center. Steve Ott dumps into the Penguin zone to get in after it. Scuderi there. Backhands it around near side. Sutter couldn't play it cleanly. Sabres try to keep it in, and they do. Behind the net, Ott beaten to the puck by Scuderi. Over for Letang. Spins out of the check of Cody Hodgson. Controls the puck. Excellent work by Letang deep in his own zone. And he moves it up now for Megna. Megna looks left side for Glass. Poked away by the long arm of the law, Tyler Myers. And he'll go back for the puck. 6'8". He just reached out and prevented that pass. Now he's got the puck. Myers to the left wing and Verone. Into the Penguin zone across ice. And Foligno can't play it. Adams to Niskanen. Good tempo to this game here in the third period. The Penguins leading 2-0. Taylor Pyatt trying to get in there. Ruido poked it away from him. Now it comes to Adams. Backhand shot over the shoulder of Miller and off the netting. And that will bring a face-off in the Buffalo zone. Goals by Kunitz in England. And big saves by Fleury. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
It is. Look at he denied Flynn twice. Matt Molson with 15 goals. And then that blast by Foligno off his skull. Marc-Andre Fleury. Good perfect on 20 Sabre shots. And Brooks Orpik is just trying to stop the bleeding.
Crosby against Konopka. Ehrhoff had it taken away by Kunitz, who tried to center for Gibbons. The Sabres will counterattack now, and it is Foligno over the line, but Flynn was ahead of him. And was Ryan Miller headed off here? Is there going to be a penalty? Yes.
Yeah, a slash, a broken stick on the ice. Kunitz is going. He wants an explanation before he goes into the box. Or before we go on our Nissan road ahead, Steggy.
Yeah, we're going back out west to Los Angeles and Phoenix.
There's Kunitz. He just touches the end of the stick. Ehrhoff's stick just disintegrated.
Penguins win the draw in their own zone on the penalty kill, and they send it all the way down. Sabres are 0 for 2. Penguins have killed 21 straight Buffalo power plays. And this is a very important one for the Sabres, who have had some momentum here in the third period, but they've got nothing to show for it. Now they'll try to get a power play goal and get into this game. Penguins leading 2-0. Orford with a big hit. Martin pokes it free to the far wall. Ehrhoff there. Ehrhoff trying to center. It comes to Hodgson, and out and out of Tyler Myers. Myers backhands it softly over to Matt Moulson. This is where Moulson is so dangerous. Myers to Moulson. Moulson down to the goal line. Hodgson cross ice. Ehrhoff had to take it on the backhand. Shoots it. Save made by Fleury. Rebound underneath Fleury. He reached back with his glove and was able to freeze it.
What a save on a redirect by Moulson.
Get ready for back-to-back ACC hoops Wednesday on Root Sports. First at 7, it's Virginia Tech against Boston College. Then at 9, it's Wake Forest against Syracuse. ACC hoops. It tips off live Wednesday at 7 on Root Sports.
Man, that was a great save by Marc-Andre Fleury. That shot pass into the slot area. Moulson redirected it, and the Flower is able to keep it out.
And that's what he's so good at, right, Bob? Around that net, he's got that knack.
He's had a couple of opportunities here in the third period of play, and Flower has shut him down. This might be it for the Sabres, their last chance.
Tanner Glass rubs McBain out on the far side, and Crosby follows on. Crosby rags the puck now to kill some time. 40 seconds to go on the penalty to Kunitz. And the puck is dumped in by Rob Scuderi all the way down on the penalty kill. 33 seconds remaining on this penalty now. Billy Leno. Marcus Foligno shoots it. Stick save made by Fleury. I don't think it was on the net. Ott moves it up the wall now. Omar into the middle. McBain to Leno. Try to return pass for McBain. He's got to go get it in center ice. Second power play unit on for the Sabres.
Well, they got a guy like Leno's on the ice, 33 games. Doesn't have a goal on the season. He's out there on their power play.
I think Ted Nolan just keeps hoping to finally get one. Here's Ott with it now down the wing. Ott cross ice for Leno. Good read by Brandon Sutter to break it up. And the penalty's over. Kunitz is on the ice. And here he goes with Craig Adams. Back for Kunitz. Sabres change their D as he swings wide. Kunitz pulls up, and it poked off his stick, but it's taken away by Tyler Myers. And Myers with it now. Ahead to Moulson, and he backhands it to the right wing. Jurgensen looks for Ennis. Tyler Ennis slashing in against Niskanen. Lost the puck. Gibbons reversed it back into the corner. Crosby, nice backhand pass over to Kunitz. Returns it to Sid into the Buffalo zone, trying to get around Tylander. It just backhands it back to neutral ice. Paul Martin fresh off the bench. Over to Wally Mata.
Really haven't seen any odd man situations to speak of. Not much anyways. Maybe a couple of Sabres in front of a lone netminder, but you haven't seen the clean 2-on-1s or 3-on-2s. I expect that we may in the final 7.5 of this game.
And those saves by Fleury, and it's just typical of what he's been able to do and why he has a record of 32-4 and a 1.93 goals against, 932 save percentage on home ice. That's incredible. And, I mean, those were point-blank, wide-open, glorious scoring opportunities that he stopped. Now the puck up into the netting, and we will stop for a break and be back in just a moment. 7:28 to go in the third period. Flower has shut the door so far. I think Penguins, you can be a part of the Mario Lemieux Celebrity Invitational by bidding on this auction item. Includes 18 holes for 3 people at Mystic Rock on June 26th. Joined by a celebrity guest, one-night hotel for 3 at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort, You can go to PittsburghPenguins.com to bid. Our auction continues until Wednesday. And we thank everyone who's already bid on items and bought those bags to raise over $950,000 for the Mario Lemieux Foundation as well as the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation. Another great success thanks to the generosity of our fans. Here's a shot by Jokinen, stopped by Ryan Miller. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive leaders. You see where Evgeny Malkin stands, and this is 500th game all-time. Numbers prior to him playing his 500th. Mario Lemieux at the top of the board, of course. 7:06 remaining in the third period, and the Penguins leading the Buffalo Sabres 2-0. Penguins are 14-1 in their last 15 home games. Jokinen with it. And that now for Paul Martin.
Orpik lost his stick. Penguins have the puck. That'll help.
Malkin comes ahead now against McBain. And Weber drops it off. Neal with a shot. Raised the left arm of Miller. Jokinen centers for Neal. It jumps off a stick to the near side of Letang. Waits for traffic. Shoots the puck, and Miller the save. And Steve Ott has control of it now. So Ville Leino. Leino stick handles the center and dumps it in, but now Letang will go back and get it. The Buffalo Sabres make it 2 in a row as they are down by 2 here in the third period. Trying to find that first goal, and here they are with an opportunity. Ennis to the goal, and Letang reached in and took it away. Threw it to the net, and the save made by Fleury. Now Letang takes it away from Ennis. Stick handles his way out of trouble and moves it out to center, but Tanner Glass had it poked away. Molson backhands it right back into the Penguin zone.
Ennis, great speed, was able to come in, unable to corral that bouncing puck there and put it behind Fleury.
Well, the Sabres back to the puck again. One of the Sabres reaching up to his face right now. Not so pleased with that. Quick shot down the right wing. It was Tallinder who was checking his face, and then Tyler Myers, his partner, ends up leading the charge and almost scored down the right wing. Here's Christian Ehrhoff with it now at his own line.
As good a job as the Sabres have done getting pucks in, the Penguins have done a good job getting back and getting pucks out and using support, supporting one another. The center down there with the 2D. Pucks go deep. You got to have that support just like they do right there. You chip that puck out.
Taylor Pyatt over to help out Adams, and now he comes in and one-handed to Englund, who got it poked away to the near boards. Derek Englund had the signs of getting another opportunity. Here's a shot by Niskanen. It floats through. And the save made by Miller. Now it's Pyatt with it in the corner. For Adams. Pyatt digging along the end boards. Centers for Adams, and it goes right by him out to center. Fleury sets it up for Matt Niskanen with 4:38 remaining. Derek Englund steers it into the Buffalo zone. Miller sends it along now for Mike Weber. Weber sends it up the wall. Back now to McBain, who looks to the left side of the ice for Marcus Foligno. He'll dump it to the right wing corner, and Brooks Orpik back to get it. Orpik sent it up the boards for Gibbons. And Gibbons banks it off the boards, ends up poking it back into the corner. Orpik sends it up the wall this time for Sidney Crosby. He can't play it cleanly. Orpik tries again. Sends it right back up the short side. And it comes out to McBain. A shot, bouncing puck, and it's taken by Paul Martin. Brooks Orpik held off Foligno so that he couldn't get to that loose puck in front of the net. Foligno with it again. Well, the Penguins had 3 cracks at getting the puck out of their own zone and couldn't do it over there on the far boards. And the Sabres have something going. Weber's shot deflected wide of the goal. Now Crosby has some time, moves it out. Gibbons steers it back to center. Kunis wants to get after it. Weber gets there ahead of him. And Weber moves it out on left side where it's taken by Marcus Foligno. 3:34 to go in the game. The Sabres down by 2.
They did a lot of work. They won the battle in the trenches in the Penguin zone, as you mentioned, in that shift. The Penguins had 3 cracks to get it out. It didn't happen.
Now they've got the puck in the offensive zone where they want to play, but Leno hands it off now to Watt. Watt, former star, comes in, up to the right wing corner, centers the puck, and it was broken up by Scuderi, and a quick counter now for Evgeny Malkin. Malkin and Neal come ahead along with Jokinen. Malkin delays, drops it off. Letang a shot and a good save by Ryan Miller. On his knees, stopping Chris Letang in a beautiful setup. Now it's off down the left wing against Scuderi, and he dumps it in. Letang backhands it up the boards and out to center.
Boy, what a great rush by the Penguins. Letang joining it, and Malkin. There's a cadence to the rush, and he knows exactly the timing and when to get that blue line and when to have that center drive.
Icing call to Buffalo. We take a look at our Subway sandwich, and once again, Tanner Glass.
Well, he got involved early. The first two shifts, he had a couple of big hits. Really just send a statement, if you will. Dan Bylsma and Tanner Glass sending a big statement, our Subway sandwich of the game.
It's interesting how a player will all of a sudden have a couple of games where it just seems like the hits are there for him, and he's taking advantage of it.
He hit a good strong start to the season. He had that broken hand after being hit by a PK Subban, but he's back, Tanner Glass. He's back in a big way.
Sabres trying to get untracked in their own zone. Glass applying pressure on the forecheck along with Sutter and Jason Megna. So Ehrhoff has to send it back in behind his own goal to Ruhwedel. 2:23 remaining in this game, and the Penguins leading 2-0. Looking for their league-leading 22nd win on home ice. Olimata back to play it. Ennis on him. He's got an empty net down to our right. Miller has gone to the bench. Extra attacker on now for the Sabres. Still more than 2 minutes remaining in the game. Jurgensen's trying to work it behind the net. Megna takes it. He's in the corner. Two Sabres on him. Molson and Jurgensen. Jurgensen has the puck. Hit by Olimata. Megna had it, but lost it to Ennis, who centers, and it's punched wide of the goal to the corner by Jurgensen. Now Megna able to get it up the boards to Sutter, who got it the rest of the way to center. And the Sabres right back into the Penguin zone. Ott tried to center one. Molson trying to get after it. Paul Martin on his horse. Banks it off the glass. Didn't get it out. Held in by Marcus Foligno. Big body over there. Back to Myers. Myers with a wrist shot through traffic. Loose. Molson trying to get a hold of it. Marcus Foligno takes it. Back into the middle now to Myers. Tees it up. Doesn't shoot it. Ehrhoff fires it. The save made by Fleury out there with a rebound. And Fleury freezes the puck in the paint with 1:21 to go.
And the extra attacker on for the Buffalo Sabres. The Penguins over the boards goes Pyatt and Englund. We'll see who Coach Bylsma goes with now. It looks like Adams, Crosby, and Kunitz. They want two centermen. As Marc-Andre Fleury and Paul Martin. Boy, that extra attacker, that's tough to account for. We got a timeout here, Buffalo.
Well, the Penguins have dominated in faceoffs, 29-14. Malkin having a great night in the faceoff circle with 11 wins and only 2 losses.
And this one on the right side of Marc-Andre Fleury, you tend to want to get either a right-handed shooter or Crosby going to the wall on his forehand. We'll see what the Penguins decide to do here. They're up 2-0 in the hockey game. It was 0-0 after the first. And then Gibbons with a great feed from Crosby hit the goalpost. Came right to Chris Kunitz, who backhanded in for his 26th. Tied a career high with that one. And then Derek Englund, defenseman, turned forward with his 4th of the season, going up over the glove hand of the fallen Miller. 2-0. Lots of talk.
Here's our McDonald's player of the game. Chris Kunitz.
Yeah, one more into the empty net would give him a career high of 27. Let's see if the Penguins can find it.
Ott to take the draw against Crosby, who tried to smash it to the near board. Still loose. Kunitz came out of there with a puck. Banks it off the boards. Empty net down to our right.
I would have shot that one, Staggy. I'm up by 2 with a clear lane.
Here's Ehrhoff with it now to center. Ehrhoff will dump into the right wing corner. It comes off the boards to the near side of Paul Martin. Martin's trying to send it up the boards. Ott wouldn't let him do that. Martin tries again. And the Sabres end up with a puck. Ennis trying to go to the point. He's hit hard on the near boards by Orpin. Ehrhoff pinched, and the puck squirts out to center. 50 seconds remaining in the game. And the Penguins with a 2-goal lead. Keep our eye on Marc-Andre Fleury here if he ends up with a puck.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he'll stop the dump in. Here it is right here, and he'll try to shoot it down. They already got the Fleury chance going.
Crosby ahead to Adams with an empty net. Adams shoots for the empty net and misses. Tanner Glass shoots for the empty net and scores. And that's fitting, isn't it, the way he's been playing?
Well, he's got a goal, he's got an assist, and if he can get a fight in the final 27 seconds of this one, he'll get the Gordillo hat trick. But why does he need it? And Adams is going to say, I banked that perfectly to you, Tanner. Ehrhoff decided he didn't want to use his glove to stop that one. That didn't quite work, and Tanner Glass, who started the game with Crosby, really finishes it here, making it 3-0.
23 seconds remaining. Fleury sets it up for Olli Maatta. Miller's back in the net. The Penguins up 3-0 now. Olli Maatta comes to center and softly dumps it up into the Buffalo zone. Miller sends it back around near side. 8 seconds to go.
What a statement for Marc-Andre Fleury in this hockey game, Staggy. Playing against Team USA's starting netminder and Ryan Miller, maybe. He shuts the door and defeats Ryan Miller and the Buffalo Sabres 3-0, making 24 saves.
His 4th shutout this season, 27th of his career, 2nd against Buffalo in his career. And we'll return and have more for you from the Consol Energy Center in just a moment. The Pittsburgh Penguins have won their 37th. And final is 3-0.